Now to the future of interest rates, and all eyes are on crucial inflation figures set to be released in a few hours, with Aussies hoping it may signal relief to rates on the horizon. Many economists anticipate the numbers are going to show inflation has hit its lowest point in more than 3 years. So could these new figures pave the way for a potential cut this year? For more, Chairman of Yellow Brick Road, Mark Bouris, joins us live. Good morning to you. A cut this year, what do you think?
Unlikely. And the Reserve Bank Governor has already come out and said that that is very unlikely. She came out and said that 2 meetings ago when the market was calling for it, just like the market is calling for it right now. But more importantly, I don't think today's inflation number will be will be low enough to actually encourage the Reserve Bank Governor to take it down.
So would she have seen something, months ago leading into this, or could these figures be a shock that could change the perception? Well, that's
an interesting point. The Reserve Bank Governor does not see the CPI numbers or the inflation numbers before anyone else. The whole country gets to see them at the same time when the Australian Bureau of Statistics releases them today. So there may well be a shock, and if there is a shock, maybe she'll change her tune, but I don't think the market is expecting a shock. So we might see a 2 in front of the inflation number. We might see 2.8, 2.9, more likely around 3. The last quarter was a 1% increase. So, like, if you just extrapolate that forward, you might see a 3% annualised number and a 1% increase again for this quarter. That will not be enough because the Reserve Bank is saying she wants to see it in the 2s, and a shock would be a low 2. 2.2 or something like that. OK, so where are we at with an interest rate cut? We're still thinking early next year, and then how many cuts? Well, the money market is usually the most accurate in this regard, and the money markets are betting for rate cuts not this year, but in 2025, sometime around March, and the general view is somewhere between 3 and 5 cuts. So, and very rare does the Reserve Bank Governor outpace the money markets, and the money markets have got it placed sometime next year in 2025. We also saw this COVID-19 report come out yesterday, basically saying companies got JobKeeper that didn't need it, and that fed into inflation. How did you take that yesterday? Well, I guess in some respects, because I was quite active around the time, and I was actually speaking to the Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, at the time, and this whole thing was an experiment globally, not just here in Australia, but globally. So I think JobKeeper was actually a very good initiative. And by the way, the opposition never objected, and had plenty of opportunities to object to JobKeeper being imposed. In fact, I recall the opposition actually saying the JobKeeper should have been kept longer, and JobSeeker should have been kept longer, and the JobKeeper should have been a lot more money. So it was a bipartisan decision. So I don't think the politics of this right now is really helpful. But did it? And look, Mark Butler was pretty clear on that too. That they're not going to get stuck in. But did it go to companies that didn't need it? Oh, absolutely. Some companies definitely did not need it, but at the time the administration was, or the decision of the administration, and this is not necessarily the Minister or the Prime Minister or the Treasurer, but let's get the money into the system straight away because we need to do it immediately. The rest of the world was reacting immediately, and we had to do the same thing. So that, by definition, that went to the wrong companies, and some of the companies, one of which is in the headlines right at the moment, probably should have put their hand up and said, we're going to pay it back. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Mark Bouris, thank you. Here's Chevo.